I'm pretty sure you've come across the term A&R, like artists and repertoire before. Right? Now, these people are responsible for finding, signing, and developing talent.
I think my favorite part, yokusebenza, since I've started in this music business was Skhanda World, which I think with the gens from Cashtime, Zulu, and KO, we rectified all of the mistakes we did. Again, defining how nowadays we're finding talent.
Yeah.
And it's not the same as before, where we used to go to a taxi rank, we used to go to a cipher where to find an artist.
How do you know that this is the one? Like you hear a talent or you see a talent, you're like, this is the one.
Again, social media is helping these kids now.
Yeah.
There's kids that, again, you see from there.
Yeah.
Again, how to find a superstar. Somebody that says, Bush's got a camera. Themba's got this and this and this. We don't have money for a beat for a student or a son. What can we do with what we have?
We're all about sharing the facts and teaching the tricks. Let's talk all things about music, the life of music. Let's engage about the rhythm. Let's talk about our passion for melodies, sound, and those beautiful classics. Let's get educated about these decibels we oh so dearly love. On this podcast, we talk about these politics. Welcome to Music Politricks.
Sanbonani dumelang ekse. Kalina ke nabusi baba khulu baba dese bareke the Queen of Pitori, and welcome to another episode of Music Politricks. This is where we learn everything there is to learn about music. We are here to learn all the tricks and of course share all the facts via our expert guests. A big shout out to everybody on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Please make sure you do review the podcast. You know, what are your favorite episodes? What kind of conversations you'd like to have? That's the important thing. And big shout out to everybody on YouTube as well. 80% of you guys are watching. Mara, you have not subscribed. So just do the right thing. Subscribe and that notification bell as well. Now, I'm pretty sure you've come across the term A&R, like artists and repertoire before. Right? Now, these people are responsible for finding, signing, and developing talent. I mean, what a big deal, especially in a talent-rich country like Mzansi. Now, I'm so excited for today's guest because we're going to be speaking about all that and so much more. He is a music architect, has been in the A&R space even back then, go Share Publishing. And right now, he is head of A&R at Gresham Music Group, has spoken at various platforms, including the Amapiano Africa Summit. I mean, Capaso's Music in Bizo. We could go on and on and on. The one and only Themba Molongoana.
You did your research.
I mean, come on.
Shout out. That's fire. That's fire.
Does it shock you? I mean, these are things that you do.
Yeah, you've left some of them, but yeah. But yes. Thank you for having me first and foremost.
Wait, thank you for coming through. What did I leave out that you feel like is worth mentioning? Because you really are like a dime in this music game.
To be honest, I think what you've mentioned, it's for now, it's relevant. There's a lot of things we've done. From the days of Cashtime Live, from the days of Universal Music Group, Electro Mode, and again, as you said, to share. We've done a lot, and I think my favorite part, yokusebenza, since I've started in this music business was Skhanda World, which I think with the gens from Cashtime, Zulu, and KO, we rectified all of the mistakes we did.
Okay.
From Cashtime to Skhanda World. I think, personally, that's one of my favorite. But yeah, hey, life is still growing. We're still growing.
Yeah.
We'll see what it has in store for me. But yeah, man, a great intro. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, thank you to you because you give us content to say. You know what I mean? But look, you're from the East Rand, right?
Yes.
What's it like growing up in the East Rand? Where in the East Rand are you from?
So, I think my life is divided into three, right? We'll say 30% of my life is from Newcastle, Emadadeni. 40% of my life is from the East Rand, Dal Park Station 6. And then now this side of town in the north. That's, I would say, divided into three pieces. So kulele Israel, it was different. It was dope. From as in Intwane Pome Newcastle, just to come back to Josie, Uzobone using does it different and be like, hey man. I think Eastern shaped me to know that I do not want to have a 9 to 5.
Ah, that's cool. But what are you seeing? Man, dilo tse 9 to 5 is not it.
I think as abantu abaningi bayazi, we have like great superstars from the Eastern.
Yeah.
The likes of Questis, Sleek himself, Gang man, just to name a few. Toss is from there. East, wonke umuntu wasuke East was a North, the North, but all of the North people, especially in the music business, go to the East to go find the talent and what's not. I think Indian Mankula Bengpega man guti no man. I think I don't want to be famous first and foremost.
Okay.
But I would like to build people. I would like to make people famous. And I've always had friends about my presenter, want to be rappers and also not. And I was like, man, I say this on one of the show that I work on, Gukozi FM, Tanke 12 to 3 every Friday. Uguti, you must build a team. I think from Lapo, that's when Ngabona kon good no man. I think I need to be part of that team so that man you know when you're a parent and then you watch somebody does something amazing and you're proud as a parent. In my head I was like, man, I want to be that guy where one of my role models is L.A. Reid.
Okay.
When you look at Asha, we're like, okay, there's guys like L.A. Reid, Abantu Ababaz, but they know Asha. And I was like, I want to be that guy that nobody knows. They know the artist. So I think from there, and I knew Gutaman. We usually officing, and also I didn't want to like wear formal clothes and stuff. That's why I got my first tattoo. I think I was 18. To make sure
is it the one on your neck?
No, that's not the latest, but I think this one, and then I just got another one like a week ago. So this was the latest, but I've got another one. But the first tattoo, it's on my arm, and all of my brothers are lawyers, and I said, Mina, I do not want to go to court or.
How do your parents receive this? Because you know how it is, man. Like, I mean, entering in such an unfamiliar space, especially for, I guess, our generation of parents, is quite tricky. And I guess but not necessarily scared that you won't make it, but scared it's unfamiliar territory.
I think Mina, luckily my brothers were already like in school. Some of them were doing their articles and also not. And when I said, Mina, I don't want to play in that space, they were a little bit shocked to go to Manju, what if it doesn't work and also not? I think it also motivated me to be like, I want to be the first one in the family to do this particular job, and then to open doors for other kids, man, within the family. And then nasebanganin ma mugut okay, lento lenji ungayenza. You can get rich, man, without working at the bank, being a teacher or being a lawyer and what's not. You just gotta be creative. I think my parents will tell you if you get a chance to speak to them someday, I've always been a different child. I know it's so cliche when people say that you've always been a different child. Wumdana or curious about this and this and this and this. And I finished school because we needed to finish school. I finished tertiary because we needed to finish tertiary.
What did you study?
I did PR and communication at Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University. Changed its name now. It's Nelson Mandela University. And then I just did my other qualification, digital marketing now at IIM graduate. Again, just I went to school because my parents were like, if this doesn't work, fall into school. And I was like, nah, I'm going to study something that's closest to what I'm trying to do. So that, again, I'm proving people wrong, but I'm proving myself right at the same time.
Yeah, because to be honest, what you studied is so beneficial to what you do.
100%.
What are you using where you studied in what you're doing?
PR, I think public relations and communications, I think but more time to kuluma, so that ukulume isn't this right.
Yeah.
It works in your favor, and I think also mina bengumntana one confidence, bengumntana unga tatazeli, like bengazi ukuthi if ngifuna into nje, and then I needed just to have a paper so that when I get into such places and then bakuthathe serious. Because ungasho whatever ufuna ukisho, but again, in this day and age, if you don't have a paper, I think it's not in this day and age. These kids are doing whatever.
Yeah.
And these kids are just rocking.
And it's also a blessing to be able to articulate yourself properly.
100%. Yeah, true.
We take that for granted big time. But
Yeah.
to be honest, like, it's so wild that, I mean, you always knew and always had the eye. This is really the role that I want to play in this kind of industry. But how do you position yourself in those kind of, situations or, scenarios in order to enable that to happen? Because, I mean, to do what you do, it's not like, it's that thing. Okay, guys, you're gonna go to university, study A&R, and boom,
You know what's funny? There's no subject or there's no module or there's no curriculum in right? It's again something different that within the music space you learn it, and then again it helps when you have an ear for music and also not. But just what I wanted to say, I lost my train of thought. Wanted to say there's a little bit of luck that happens in life.
Yeah.
For me, I would say 40% was luck to where I am today. 60% was hard work in school, right? I got into this music business again via Cashtime. Tabiso Khati and KO and all of them were doing a show in PE, and I was part of the SRC guys that books artists and what's not. We used to work nabo Spenatim Liva and stuff. He used to be the PRO Google SRC and stuff. Again, it was me going into those spaces and then uzama ukukhuluma nalabantu abafana nabo Tabiso, abantu abafana nabo KO. You couldn't get to KO.
Yeah.
So for you to get to KO, you needed to get to Tabiso.
Yeah.
And again, looking at guys like that, I learned a lot from that guy. Looking at guys like that, you're like, okay, I want to be that guy, so that the way KO is so respected, you can see with the manager behind them. At that time, it was Tabiso. Now it's Tulu. At that time, you can see with, okay, this guy is disciplined, is strict, strategically where he positions his artists and also that. You learn from those things. And luckily, I got a chance to speak to him. And a friend of mine, his name is Khabo Mapoto, found out on Twitter that they were looking for like interns and also not. And it's like, my bro deserves to be there. And again, as they say, the rest is history. Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, but I mean, to also solidify yourself as that guy,
100%.
how are you maneuvering in the industry with your foot in at this point?
Yeah. Again, I think from there, having a good teacher, having a good teacher, having a good mentor, that guy, I owe him a lot, man. Again, Tabiso Khati, great teacher, very, very strict guy. Great teacher. I learned a lot from him, and one lesson that I learned from him was in every room that you're in, you must make sure that you're heard.
Sure.
Without disrespecting anybody.
Yeah.
You just heard, and then if we hele boardroom, isandla sakho asiphakame, because that idea that you have lakho, if awuphakamisa isandla and you're not saying anything, nobody's gonna know that idea.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got the greatest idea that can change the company and can bring the company a lot of money, but just because you're sab and also not. So from that I knew that sandla must always phakama, and also you must learn to know with you. If you don't have anything to say, it's also good to just keep quiet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What are some dope ideas that you've actually had the confidence to speak on and to articulate and to express?
I think one of the best idea that, again, one of my greatest moment in the music business was we're doing Nasty C Strings and Bling. We're doing it was the whole team. It was a marketing team about the album, how we're gonna roll out the album, and all of those things. Shout out to Gavin Gutu, who was there at that time, and we had an idea that there's a song called SMA, which changed his life also.
Yeah.
That song, we had an idea of doing 3 different music videos. Those 3 different music videos was one dedicated to Channel O, dedicated to MTV, and dedicated to Trace. And how smart we were with that, Gucci. Channel O will always play this video because it's dedicated to them. It's only for them. And then MTV has a different video that's dedicated to them. Same as with Trace. From there, when we roll out the music video and the song, we took out the song. The song wasn't doing the great numbers. And then again, we got back and be like, how are we doing this? Put out the video. The video changed everything.
Wow.
And from there, he was nominated at the Summers, won Best Hip Hop Album. I was privileged enough to accept his award on his behalf, and he wasn't in the country at that time. And again, I think that's one of the greatest moments again in the music business. As I said to you, there's a lot of those things you'll remember as Ukulum.
Yeah.
This is what we did. This is how we did it, and all of those things. Yeah.
Sheer publishing. That is a
Yes.
big deal.
Yeah.
That is a huge deal. How does that happen?
Share publishing. I was at YFM for a short stint, and shout out to Tando Makunga. Again, one of the greatest leaders. She's one of the leading ladies at what is it? Not Capasso, but what's the other one?
Samro.
No, not Samro. The
Mpasa.
Mbasa. She's the chair lady at Mbasa.
Nice.
She said, dude, I know you in radio, you've done radio before, tertiary and all of those things. I've got this position that I need somebody with your expertise and to fill this position. This is what we're trying to build. Gave me the idea and put down everything and said, I want you to run. I'm behind you. I want you to run. And again, I left YFM, went to Share, and again, as I said, we killed it at Share. To people that didn't even know about Share or forgot that Share was around, they can realize that there's something called Share. Because there's a guy that is making sure that in the street, you know about this, you know about this, you know about the same as with where I'm at right now, David Gresham Records. Again, some of the people, they buzz at David Gresham Records as a pop label and also not true, but we're changing the narrative again. We're back, and then we're trying to show people that, guys, there's no such thing as called a pop label. There's no such thing as called an urban label. A record label is a record label. It just needs an A&R that has got an ear and somebody that can listen to. You know, like we can listen to a Brazilian song and none of us can hear what they're saying. But if the song has the vibe, you can hear the rhythm, you can hear where it's going. Remember that saying, Wimbek, Bimbek. Nobody understood what the guy was saying.
Absolutely not.
But again, whoever was plugging that song, whoever the A&R behind that song, changed the mindset of everybody. Was like, guys, a great song is a great song. And again, that's why I shared, that's why David Gresham again, I think my purpose in this life is just to make superstars and to change the narratives of all of the labels.
And I love that you even referencing Windek, guys, because that also just revolutionized Afrobeat 100%. As a genre, you know, at a very, very, that was ages ago.
Hey, again, we're revealing our age, but that was a revolutionary time. In
The Dreamstream Studio in Randburg is a full-service studio on Bromfisher Drive. It's perfectly suited for podcast, music recordings, and general video recordings. Backed up by an experienced editing and production team means you can walk in, record, and walk out knowing that everything will get done as you require. Our mobile gear ensures we can cover your video and live streaming needs on location too. We got the cameras, the lights, and the action to make you and your brand shine. Contact us now, studio@dreamstream.co.za, and we'll make it happen. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
Africa as a whole, again, Abu Debanj, there was that big song, I'm Debanj, and a lot of people didn't even, again, I don't think we at that time, as see categorized as Afrobeat.
That's true.
I'm not too sure, I stand to be corrected, but at that time, that's when Afrobeat was Afrobeat.
Yeah. Because, I mean, really, if you talk about Afrobeat, at that time, the reference was Fela Kuti, which wasn't necessarily the sound we're literally listening to.
100%.
I like that.
I think you find with what we're doing now with the young lady Tyler and what Americans and other countries are referencing to the sound she was doing, especially with water. Is it Afrobeat? Is it Mapiano or and what's not? Because I think that's another genre that we need to find a name for. I believe that. I don't think that's Afrobeat, and I don't think that's Amapiano. I think it's a fusion of both of those genres, which
absolutely,
again, we haven't found the name of it, but
and maybe a touch of pop nyana, but
do you understand?
It's not fully pop also at the same time.
Do you understand?
You
understand?
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, man.
A&R, as someone who does A&R, firstly, we have our own basic understanding of what an A&R representative or head does, right? But what is it in reality? Like, as an A&R, what do you do? What are you actually, and what does it entail?
I think you did explain it earlier when you were introducing the topic or in pretty much somebody that finds talent, develop talent, and pretty much position talent. But now things have changed.
Yeah.
We're speaking 2 weeks ago at Music Network in Senton, and we're again defining how nowadays we're finding talent.
Yeah.
And it's not the same as before, where we used to go to a taxi rank, where we used to go to a cipher where to find an artist. Nowadays we have social media that's at our disposal. You go to TikTok, and you find a kid that's rapping there, you find a kid that's singing there, and what's not. Then it's easier. Now you can even see they've kind of branded themselves. They know how they want to look like, and all of those things. So A&R, back in the days, original A&R is you find an artist, you look at an artist, sounds amazing. They don't have a style. They don't know how they want to look like, and all of those things. They don't know the sound that they want to do, and what's not. Your job is to go find Themba. You bring Themba, you sit down with Themba. Themba's never been even in the studio. Does Themba even know how to write a song? You find writers if that person doesn't know how to write a song, because what they have is just a great voice. Again, for hip hop, it's different. They need to know how to write.
Sure, it's very
that's the
important.
craziest thing. But for singers, you find the artist. You again, you sit with the artist. This is where I see you. There's something called a P&L. You do a P&L of an artist that this is I'm projecting to do this sales and what before you even get there, how I want this artist to look like.
So P&L really is like some form of a projection.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool.
But starting with you have to find a stylist. Again, that's part of A&R. Sourcing out a stylist that's going to deal with that person's image. Sorting out a photographer. Then you have press images, which if we're dropping a single and then there's a journalist that's looking for your pictures, maybe you sent out a press release, those things go with that press release. Then all of those things. Then you come back, then you find a sound for that person. How you find that sound again, you go back to what's trending at that time, what's happening. Who's the hottest artist at that particular. There's a lot of artists, if you've realized that Moti and Berg, this was never their sound.
Yes, absolutely. But, I mean, look at them. I'm a piano cat right now.
But vocalistic.
Yep. Rapper.
100%.
Yep.
Toss.
Yep.
A rapper.
100%.
But again, as an A&R, you sit and be like, okay, you're good at this. You're great at this. But because you're trying to find imali, and then again we're trying to recoup of all of the investment we're doing, the imaging and all of those things, the pictures and what's not. What's trending right now? Amapiano is trending right now. Can you rap on a Amapiano beat? Yes, you can. Then we take that, we match that sound, we put out a single, and then we see, okay, how is the single gonna do? Again, from that, you send it to the marketing team. The marketing team will do their thing. Boom, 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 put it out there. But pretty much A&R is just to find pure raw talent, put it in the studio. Again, from that step, imaging, designing, and all of those things, and then finding a sound for an artist. That's pretty much our job. Now it has changed again. It entails a lot of things. There's budget into this. Company will give you, let's say they give you a 1 million budget. That's where it goes back to that P&L now. You have a 1 million budget for this artist. What are we doing with this artist? Then again, within that budget, there's music videos. There's finding a stylist. There's doing photography. There's buying clothes. There's booking studio time. There's booking producers. There's booking songwriters. All of those things fall under A&R again. You have to make sure that all of those things are there. As I said, you find great singers, but they can't write their own music. What are you going to do? You have to find a songwriter. And that songwriter, you have to sit with that songwriter. You guys go through the music, listen to the music, and your biggest job is to executive produce that album.
For sure.
And just executive producing an album doesn't mean you have to play an instrument. It doesn't mean that you have to write something. You have to, executive producing the album again. It's shaping the sound of the album. This is how the album is going to sound like. Let's do it like this. Track number 1 needs to go to, last track needs to go to track number 1. So when you're listening to an album, it needs to sound like an album. It can't come from Ingomez Yasha, from the jam, intro, from the intro. Bam, 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 bam,
It's really just the holistic vision of the album.
100%. from going as far as designing the sleeve of the album. Remember when you used to have CDs?
Yeah.
Design the sleeve of the album.
Yeah.
Making sure that all of the people that worked on the album, that's how we found out about a lot of songwriters. When we used to read CD sleeves, and then you'll see on the song, Water, it has Tyler, it has Boosie, it has Themba, it has who. And you ask yourself, what are all of these people doing?
Yeah.
At that time, I didn't even know that they were writers, or they were producers, or they were executive producers, and all of those things. All of those things falls under A&R, making sure that when that thing is out, and then again, getting the sleeves and what's on, that still falls under A&R. So pretty much shaping somebody's career, it's pretty much you have somebody's career in your hands.
That is like a lot, hey.
It's crazy.
That is a lot. And one thing you also mentioned was that hip hop artists, it's very important for them to know how to write.
Yeah.
Is that really important in this day and age? I mean, people like Drake have ghostwriters. I mean, we know of actual rappers in this country who are incredible. I mean, delivery, they come all the way, but did they really write their own bars?
Let me tell you something about this thing people always say, especially with ghostwriters and what's on. For you to even have a ghostwriter, let's not use the word ghostwriter.
Yeah.
To have somebody to assist you in writing.
Yeah.
All right? You have to know how to write.
Okay, cool.
You just don't know how to write great songs.
Okay, cool.
Like
just the basic nyan.
100%. You can rap like a nice song, can put a nice song, but you just don't have bars. And then your cadence maybe are not like up to par. Then we find somebody that knows how to write a bar with the same line you gave them.
Yeah.
Gave them that I have water bottle in my hand and what's not. There's guys that can write that same line differently.
Yeah.
That's why we get people that will say, will assist you in writing. Drake knows how to write. But maybe he wasn't writing like greatest lines. Then he will get guys that know how to write a great line. Like you do a whole song, give the song to the person and be like, yo, listen to the song. And then somebody will tell you, no, let's come back. Let's do it like this. That's why Kanye West was one of the greatest executive producers.
Yeah, sure.
And as a producer himself. But he will tell you that, yo, this song sounds amazing, but let's find a guy. I know a guy that can do 1, 2, 3, and 4. J. Cole is one of the greatest also. He writes his own music.
Yeah.
But he writes for other people.
Sure, absolutely.
It's like Future.
Reason.
Yeah. Shout out to my homeboy Reason. He's a la kind.
Sure.
Same as what's his name, Future. Future wrote the song "Drunk in Love" by Beyonce.
That's interesting. Who would have thought?
That's not even a hip hop song.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? You find people that I'm always fighting when people say you have a ghostwriter, you have a ghostwriter, you have a ghostwriter, unless you've never written anything and then you just know how to spit. And if you know how to rap, but without writing, again. But
tricky.
I don't think there's people, I must tend to be correct, I don't think there's people that can just rap without at least not putting 2 or 3 lines down.
I hear that. I hear that. I mean, it's really just the basics. It's like, maybe you're a visual artist and maybe you just need that extra thing, fela, for someone to come through and help you to sort of discover and make sure your artwork at the end is something of value.
100%. I think you just pretty much kind of summarized it. You're an artist, a visual artist, but you just need somebody to just make sure that the brush is painting in the right spot. That's it. That's what ghostwriting is. Somebody that knows how to write, but they just don't know how to push in the punchline and also then they'll get somebody that to do that. Then there's great writers like Reason that again knows how to write, whether it's an R&B, a piano song, a hip hop song. You tell them that they've got this camp they have with some of his friends that where they just produce music for other people, they write for other people and also they can have a song and give it to you. I'm like, yo, that's a song. But also as an artist, you can listen to all of those things, but you will add some of your stuff. So do you understand that nobody wrote that song for you, but they gave you a song that you added some of your stuff. They helped you write that song.
How do you know that this is the one? Like you hear a talent or you see a talent, you're like, this is the one.
As in like superstar wise or what?
Yeah, I mean you A&R, right? And then when you realize and see a talent, how do you know I'm actually going to invest in this artist and give them a chance?
Some of them is just attitude. All right, it's attitude and it's how they carry themselves. There's other guys where you can see that this person has a great voice, they know how to write, but you're like, I don't think you'll ever be a superstar. You don't have that. There's that. I don't know how you explain it. Like it's like that effect or that star quality type of thing. There's people that from far, you're like, my bro, you gotta be a superstar. Then there's artists where again, perfect example, like a J. Cole. Like artists that can get to a superstar level, but they don't want to be a superstar level. But they still just want to be out there making music, performing, and doing what they love and what's not. And what we look for, again, for me, it's attitude more than anything. How you dress and how you carry yourself. Then secondly, we can get to your music. I always say music can be fixed.
Okay.
There's people that don't know how to sing in this world.
Yeah.
And
they're superstars.
100%.
That's true.
I always say that can be fixed. But if your attitude and how you carry yourself, like somebody that carries themselves, is borderline arrogance and confidence. Like with that, you see when they come in the room that bro is something somewhere. And you just don't know. And then when they tell you, no, they're trying to be rappers and what's not, then that's where we find songs for them. That's where we find writers for them and be like, yo, this is it. And then there's guys that will send you music that are super great. And then you can try and try to push them again. I said it when we started this, and I said 40% of everything we do in life is luck. Some of the people do not have that luck.
Yeah.
As much as how great you are as an artist, how great you are as a songwriter, but it's not landing the same way it would land for another person. There's better rappers than Drake.
Sure.
But there's Drake.
Yeah, and he's the star, the superstar.
Yeah, and also, I think as an artist, I'm always give this advice. As an artist, also, you need to know which space you must play in. If you can see you've tried this artist thing, but it's not landing for you, but you're a great songwriter, hey, man.
The Dreamstream studio in Randburg is a full-service studio on Bromfisher Drive. It's perfectly suited for podcast, music recordings, and general video recordings. Backed up by an experienced editing and production team means you can walk in, record, and walk out knowing that everything will get done as you require. Our mobile gear ensures we can cover your video and live streaming needs on location too. We got the cameras, the lights, and the action to make you and your brand shine. Contact us now, studio@dreamstream.co.za, and we'll make it happen. Dreamstream, a place to create yourself.
There's something called publishing. As a composer, as a songwriter, there's money there. There's a guy called Benny Blanco. Google Benny Blanco. Some of the biggest hits that kid has written.
Yeah.
With Ed Sheeran. He tried being a rapper.
Yeah.
It didn't work. And he was like, what can I do? Let me write music for other people.
Yeah.
So if you still want to be in the space, still want to play in this space, but you can peep that. Because also, guys, being a superstar comes with a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Being famous, that's how I will say, I do not want to be famous. I don't have any intention of being famous. But giving people advice and then I'm helping people, I'm there, full on. I don't mind being in front of a camera or on stage and what's not. That I don't mind. But I want to walk in a mall normally.
Yeah, and sort of live your life as per normal. Yeah.
But yeah.
I get that. So let's say now, there's an artist, maybe they want the attention of A&R. It's not easy to get your guys' attention for artists, I mean, it's a lot. And luckily now people are helped by social media. What would they need to do in order to get the attention of someone like A&R?
Can I tell you something? And I hope people don't fight me on this. If we want to find you, we'll find you. I know it might sound rude and arrogant and whatnot, but again, social media is helping these kids now.
Yeah.
There's kids that, again, you see from there.
Yeah.
Again, how to find a superstar. Somebody that says, Busi's got a camera. Themba's got this and this and this. We don't have money for a beat for a student or whatnot. What can we do with what we have? From there, you're like, okay, this person is trying with what they have. I'll find this person.
Sure.
And when I find this person, I can see the quality of the video they were shooting. we can upgrade from that. Yes, some people are like, you'll send an email will be read. One thing I can tell you, we try by all means to read all of the emails we get. We have something in our meetings every Friday. I've told you this, between 10 and to 1. We literally just bump music.
Okay.
We literally just listen to music. And one thing I've introduced to the team is to get other staff members from finance, from publishing. Because again, we might miss some things because you've listened to 10 songs and then your ears are just like, okay, now I don't want to listen to anything. But we've invited other people that don't have anything to do with the music, but they work within the label. Yo, what do you think of the song? We found 2 songs from those guys that have said, yo, that guy is the guy.
That's cool.
And then when we've re-listened to that, we're like, we almost missed that. So we do listen to all of the emails they send us and whatnot. But one thing I can tell you, if an A&R wants to find you, if an artist manager wants to find you, if a label wants to find you, my dog, they'll find you.
Sure, I get it. I mean, I even think of something like Ambitious Entertainment. Jeez, man. I mean,
Shout out to that guy,
sure.
Khosi. That guy gave us superstars. I don't think we give that guy his flowers. Let me mention 3 people. His name is Thabiso Khati, Refilo Ramokase, the ambitious Khosi Grootmane, and then Benza. Those guys gave us superstars.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Thabiso gave us KO, Refilo gave us Kulichana, Benza gave us AKA, Khosi gave us Java, MT.
Come on.
Avi, bruv.
Malome effect.
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's again, shout out to those were the A&R guys.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned from those guys.
Yeah.
Bruv, this is how you find talent. When you found that talent, nurture that guy. Make sure you put that guy in right spaces, in proper spaces. You make sure that, again, one thing we're not doing anymore, and what we used to do, I think COVID also killed us, was when you get talent, guys, make sure you have that guy in all of the events we go to.
Okay, cool.
Put that guy in spaces where he was never going to be in those spaces.
Sure.
In all of those listening sessions, there's award ceremonies that we get invited to. Put that guy on the red carpet at the summers. I was taught by Thabiso that when you're at the red carpet with an artist, you're not the superstar. You need to make sure that you're behind the scene. You find all of the journalists and make sure that the camera is facing your artist.
Yep.
They giving your artist an interview. There's a lot of artists that are there. Why is your artist getting interviews? What's special about them? You, the brew, special.
Yeah.
At the back and making sure that your artists get this, your artists get this interview, your artists get this interview. We don't do that anymore. We've got a lot of famous A&R, famous marketers, artist managers that want to be in the same space as them, and they also want to be in the pictures. They also want to do the red carpets and what's not. Hey. But it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but yeah, it really is what it is, you know. I think what's for sure about your job is that your ear has to be on the ground. Like, I mean, for sure. Like, everything, sure. But your ear has to be on the ground.
And it has to be sharp.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, because you need to know what's good even though it's trending.
Yeah.
Everything can be trending, but yeah, sharp. But what's amazing about whatever it is,
Yeah.
How deep are you going where, like, being on the ground is concerned?
Everywhere. Again, I said social media is helping us right now, but I'm fortunate to still be invited to such things. Again, when we went to the music business network thing, we had an opportunity to listen to new music from all of the people that were in the crowd, and then they were playing us music. And then we took a couple of guys and then we having conversation with them. Now we're in the paperwork space of like, this is what we can do. We can help you with this.
Nice.
And what we've introduced at David Gresham is called the development contract. It's not really tying anybody with anything. Just really assisting you with giving you 3 songs. Let's do this. Let's see where it takes us. Let's help you brand. And then from that, we can, again, go into a full artist deal if this all works for everybody and what's not. So being invited to those things, attending a lot of sessions with artists. Again, I'm fortunate to be invited to all of these exclusive listening sessions. Somebody will say, I was listening to Last Day's album 2 weeks ago when in their studios they were playing me all of those things. When I was there, I found another kid that's featured on the album. Amazing kid. one of the greatest rappers, I think, of this generation. But I was telling him he was rapping too much. And in this day and age, do you still want to listen to you rapping that much? No, really.
I hear that because really you have to go by what the market wants.
But also know how to rap and know how to make a song.
Yeah, yeah.
I always say to people, iman ngani ukurap. Look rap look know how to make a song. Still give us those punchlines and everything.
Sure.
Know how to rap, you'll make a song. But yeah, again, back in the streets, I'm on TikTok almost every day now, listening to just unsigned artists. All of the DSPs, Spotify, Apple, they've got playlists that says unsigned. That's how now we find the music again. That's what I'm saying to you, without even sending me the email.
Yeah,
I know where to go. Look for the artists that want to be found.
For sure.
And we don't have that anymore. Go to taxi ranks and then we're not fortunate enough now to do those things. You understand? So yeah.
Okay, I like that. And where are you at right now in terms of course, you're head of A&R, you know, but how's that going? Where you at right now in terms of the growth where you are in the industry?
I think lang corner there's still more to be done. But yeah, man. I'm part of Kaiser Chiefs Radio, creative director on that station. It's an online radio station. Just go to Kaiser Chiefs website. Go there, you'll see Kaiser Chiefs Radio. I'm on a Cozy FM every Friday.
Nice.
Between 2 to 3. I've got a segment called Dankim Gula. Again, speaking about all of these things we're speaking about right now, all of the advice we can give to unsigned and signed artists. And yeah, David Gresham, head of A&R again, and I consult and give advice to up-and-coming artists. People can find me, social media, they can email me and all of those things. And then, yeah, man, that's where I'm at right now. And I'm trying to find a superstar, bro.
Yeah.
I think Tyler opened the door for us, and I think we're not utilizing it.
Yeah.
I think by the time, they won't get tired of Tyler, but by the time the hype declines, we should have another superstar.
I hear that.
We had Uncle Waffles that opened the doors. There's Tyler now. We need to have another one. I think all of the labels and all of the music, we need to have another one right now. Again, what are we doing not to have another Tyler? Because they've given us a roadmap, if we're being honest.
Absolutely.
We've seen it. We've seen that somebody from the East End can have a Grammy. Why are we not following that? Because, but if it's not broken, don't fix it. Why are we not following that footsteps? Why are we not, again, it's a genre that it was foreign to them. We have Amapiano in South Africa. There's over 6,000 music released in Joburg alone every Friday.
Yeah.
Why are we not finding that one person again?
Yeah, Lekompo, now people are doing the most. I
don't know about that. But yeah.
Why didn't you know about it? What was the show?
I don't know. I think it's because of social media, but I haven't heard it. I look at charts almost every Friday.
Okay, cool.
I haven't seen anything that's happening with it besides on social media. And hey man, radio is still king, and the charts still make sense. And I look at all of the DSPs again, Spotify, Apple Music, and all of those guys. When I look at the stuff, I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's just a hype thing or they were just taking a jab at Amapiano. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But if it's again, I'll do my research. I'll listen to more music and go check what's along and what's not. But yeah, man, I haven't seen anything in terms of numbers. So it's an assignment to me. Maybe, hey, this is my chance to go find the Gombo and take it to the world.
Hey, perhaps.
You never know.
Perhaps. But look, as we wrap up, right, where is the next thing for you? You know, I mean, sure, you've developed so much talent. You say you're looking for a superstar, and you will find a superstar. Overall, for you, your vision, your career, well, what's that next big thing that you're really looking forward to?
Career-wise?
You as everything, because I feel like your career is a part of who you are, right?
Yeah, I think, man, hey, I've done the 360 in the music business. I've done all of it. I think the next thing is just probably to open my own shop whenever time is ready, and again, give it back and to the people that gave me a chance again. There's somebody that saw a chance in me and took a chance in me, and I'd like to do that now myself. To somebody that will say, to all of the names I was mentioning, the greats, to someone to be within those greats again, and to have an opportunity to change how everybody looks at the South African Music Awards. If a chance is given to be the president, to be the head of RISA, and I think that's it. That's just to bring back the dignity of the South African Music Awards, man. And it's our Grammys.
Yeah.
I think, again, what I'm hating what artists are doing now, especially with all of the awards, is they're not attending awards. You will hear Best Amapiano artist is not there. Best hip hop artist is not there. Again, I think my next biggest goal in the next 2 years is to bring back the respect in the award space, and especially the South African Music Awards, for people, again, man, to recognize people for their great work, and fairly, and
Okay. And then everybody thinks they can do A&R. Like, it's such a thing. Like, everybody thinks they can, right? I'm not sure if it's a reality or not, but everybody really thinks they can do A&R. If someone actually thinks they can, but also can really do it, what would you advise that person?
It's like everybody can rap and everybody can sing until they have to sing. It's crazy. I think all of the elements are mentioned within A&R, and it helps to go to school also. You can have a great ear. There's people that have great ears that can hear a hit from far, and we can hear a hit, guys. Like the rule is 10 seconds needs to determine if you need to continue listening to that song or not. 100%. But to anybody that wants to be in this space, I'll always say, hey man, share with somebody, follow somebody, get a mentor, and again, go to school within the media space, so it will help you if you have a background of marketing, you have a background of digital something, you have a background of PR and communication. That will assist you in the long run, because when you find a talent, you also have an idea of how to market and promote that talent.
Sure.
So when you bring an artist to Busi and be like, Busi, I think Themba can be the next guy. Why do you say that? This is what we can do. This is where we can do. This is where I see him performing. This is where I see him, blah, blah, blah. And all of those things can help you. But in short, hey, I think just find a mentor, and again, find a mentor, follow somebody, study within the media space. And yeah, I think it's one of the careers that you actually can't even study for it. But when you're within the media space and what's on it, and again, have a great ear, it's also great if you know how to play an instrument. Because it helps, again, when you're shaping a song, that you can hear that the song is not sounding like this. Why? Because the guitar is off. Or the keys you're playing, they're off, or whatever the case may be. It also helps if you know how to play instruments and what's on it.
Okay. Shout out. Themba, thank you so much for coming.
Anytime.
Really, really do appreciate, your insight, your knowledge. Jeez, man, wala buga, something you do.
I'm still young. Let me hit 40.
Okay.
And then we'll see. But yeah, let me hit 40 and then we'll see, man. And thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
For sure. Kana, what are your social handles again?
I'm joking. Instagram, it's Themba SA. Twitter, it's now known as X. Themba SA _. And I don't have Facebook. Again, apparently Facebook is where it's at.
Hey, over and above that, honestly, like, it is where it's at.
Yeah,
it is. Yes, TikTok is where it's at, but Facebook is also where it's at.
I've heard communities are crazy that side. I think, again, maybe I need to join Facebook and then just try and find talent there.
Sure. Why not, hey? Why not? I'm also looking forward to that Lukompo chat. If anything happens during the where Lukompo is concerned, please, it would be interesting just to know.
Fully. I think I need to talk about that actually tomorrow.
Okay. All right, we shall see. We shall see. Big shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for watching Music Politricks. Really do appreciate you. Bona, if you'd like to book the studio, maybe you want to record your own music, perhaps you'd like to actually shoot your own podcast, all you need to do is send that important email. It is info@dreamstream.co.za. From Lepara, Themba, and myself, Kalina Kenabusi, Baba Kulu, Baba Desa, the Queen of Pitori, and Rona, we are outie.